Yes, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Today's video is going to be slightly different to what I've ever posted before. I just want to come on here, kind of catch up with you guys and give you a couple of tips on a few things. As you know, your boy's back in London. I was over in Dubai for, I think it was 6.5 weeks. I should still be there now, but things didn't quite go to plan and we've had to come back. And if you follow me on social media at Kieran__ on Instagram, you would know the full story. That is not what today's video is going to be about. Today's video is going to be about bulking because it's freezing here in the UK, and now's the time of the year where we should be all putting on that size, okay? Because if you are looking to get your summer body next year, then being out of shape over the winter periods, the colder months, is ideal because you're going to be covered up anyway. I'm going to give you some tips on bulking, and also going to give you some of my biggest tips on digestion. That's the biggest thing I want to talk to you guys about today, because yes, bulking's cool, it's fun, it's exciting, etc. Building muscle is cool, but there are a few things that come with bulking that I don't necessarily get addressed enough, and that is digestion. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so some of my bulking tips are also going to work quite well with what I'm going to talk about when it comes to digestion. So one of the biggest things that I can say to you guys is when you go from a shred, a strict cut, whatever you want to call it, one of the best things to do is to not change too much drastically. That means yes, calories, but also foods. There is absolutely no point in changing the calories to like triple the amount of calories, and also changing the types of food that you're eating. Of course, you're in the off season, you can enjoy yourself from time to time. So maybe having an off-plan meal once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks is absolutely fine. But the majority of your food, your diet, should definitely be taken up with good nutritional values of food and stuff that you've been eating on your prep as well, or your shredding phase, whatever it is, because that's gonna help a lot. Also, these carbs that we eat on our shredding phase are a great source of carbs. You know, I don't know about you guys, but especially when I'm on my shred, I stick to a very small amount of food varieties, and that's because my body gets used to digesting the types of food I'm eating. Plus, one ingredient foods are literally king when it comes to bulking and shredding for me. And I'll tell you the reason why is because I hate feeling shit. Like when I'm bulking, sticking to single ingredient foods, they make me feel much better. I don't feel grotty, I don't feel sluggish all the time. Yes, you're gonna be eating a lot of food, so you will end up feeling slightly sluggish, of course, but that's where you put your meals in your day-to-day life and work it around what you have to do in a day. That's also very, very key. Another thing when it comes to bulking, don't go and eat 300 grams of protein because you're bulking. That is not what's needed to do. When it comes to going from shredded to going to a bulking phase, just up those carbs, guys, and maybe the fats a little bit, depending on what your fats are. Carbs are king when it comes to bulking. You don't want to be shying away from carbs. You want to be getting as many in as possible. So having most of your calories come from protein is not going to be optimal. Your body does not need 300 grams of protein. One of the best ways to work out how much protein you need for yourself is to work out how much your body weight weighs in pounds, and that's the number of protein that you require. Yes, you can go slightly over that to allow for, you know, miscalculations on tracking, and sometimes food on packaging can actually be 20% off. That is by law, that is allowed to be 20% off. So to allow for that, I would always go slightly over if you like. Right, just quickly moving on to digestion. Now this is the biggest thing for me when it comes to bulking. You know you're gonna start to feel full, you know you're gonna start to feel slightly sluggish because of the amount of food that's going into the system. Now there's a couple of things that I do to try and control my digestion. I've already spoken about a couple of them, and that's making sure we don't have our protein too high. For instance, I wouldn't end up going and have 250, 300 grams of chicken in one go. I would try and keep that down to around 180 to 190 grams of chicken per meal, if you like. Depending on how many meals you have, I would try and split that up in those sort of amounts, because for me, when it comes to chicken and chewing all the time, you do get super full when you're bulking. You don't want to be chewing lumps of chicken for days. You end up not wanting to eat again very soon. So yes, I do still eat chicken on my off season because I do love chicken and it is a great source of protein, but I would, however, move over to something that's a lot easier to eat, such as beef mince. Obviously the lean, I still eat the lean beef mince, maybe not quite so lean as I would if I was shredding, but when I'm bulking, I do still like to keep the lean foods and the lean meats, guys. So yes, mince, rice, those things are super easier to eat than like having to chew lumps of chicken. You could even have like turkey breast mince, it's super lean, but for me, it's just a lot easier to eat than something like chicken. That's gonna massively help with digestion. And again, guys, chew your fucking food. Don't sit there and just shovel it in and not allow it to go down and digest properly, because that's where you're gonna feel shit. The whole point of me doing this video is to try and get you guys to understand and take a bit more of a note of digestion, because if you're getting full all the time, if you're not wanting to eat food all the time, because it will happen on your bulk because you are gonna be eating a lot of food, then the digestion needs to be taken care of a lot more. If you've got your notepads there, guys, write down, don't eat too much chicken in one go. Literally just write that down. Number 2, choose foods that are a lot easier to digest and chew, i.e. minces. You know, mince, turkey breast mince, whether it's beef mince, they're a lot easier to chew and digest as well. And chew your foods. There's 3 tips straight away. Recently, I've actually stopped drinking so much coffee, and I know coffee is not a bad thing when it comes to digestion, but when you're on your off season, you can have a little bit more leeway. And recently, I've been having a lot more like frothy coffees. Elle makes these special frothy coffees with vanilla sweeteners and stuff like that. And to be honest, when I drink those drinks, yes, I enjoy them, but I do feel really full afterwards. It sounds ridiculous, but you end up having a lot of milks and things like that, and then again, the body doesn't really sort of digest those drinks that well. If you are going to be drinking coffee, I would still stick to the black coffees as more so than the white ones. Obviously, if you can have oat milk or you can have normal milk, it's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. But for me, this is my tips that I'm giving to you guys, which I think's helped me. And again, one of the biggest things I've started doing is actually when I get up in the morning, I make sure I hydrate myself straight away before having any caffeine. And actually, I've actually started to have a mint tea with plain, obviously, hot water from the off. Rather than going straight in there with the caffeine and the coffees, I just don't feel like I need that much in the morning, which is a crazy thing for me to say because you know your boy loves some caffeine. That's what I've been doing recently, and I have about 4 mint teas a day, maybe 1 in the morning, and I'll definitely have 2, 1 in the afternoon, and then 2, maybe even 3 before I go to bed, after my last meal of the night to help with digestion. I genuinely feel when I have a mint tea, I can feel it already sort of digesting and helping that process. Again, you need to be monitoring how many times you're going to the loo, and if it's not that frequently, then you need to get on these tips, guys, because it really does help it. Another tip, go for a walk. In between meals, get up, move around. You don't want to be sitting down at a desk all day, eating loads of food, and then just sitting back down at your desk all day. You need to move the body. First of all, movement is medicine. It's great for sort of, you know, not occurring injuries over time as well, because movement is key. But also it helps with the digestive system. People seem to think that your digestive system is going to work anyway, and yes, it will work. You know, your organs are there for that reason. They are going to work, but give them a helping hand, and it just makes you feel twice as good. It really, really does. Another one I will leave you with is making sure we're drinking enough water, but that should always be in your mind anyway. Making sure you're hitting 2 to 4 litres of water every single day is absolutely vital, whether you're bulking or cutting. It's not just good for helping the digestive system, keeping everything hydrated. It's good for the hair, the skin, the nails, everything that you can think of, water is good for. Guys, I hope this video has helped you. I thought I'd just jump on here and give you some tips on bulking and digesting, because if you're getting a digestive system working super well, the bulk will feel a lot easier. I've been getting hundreds of messages recently from you guys telling me to give you some tips, so I hope this video has helped you guys, and I thank you so much for your recent support on all the videos. It does go a long way, so thank you so much. Before I leave you as well, thank you so much for everyone who used my code for Alpha over the Black Friday couple of weeks, however long it went on for. I've not had a month like it before. That is the busiest month I've had, and the most code usages I've ever had as well, which is fucking amazing. So guys, thank you so much. I do really, really appreciate it. You guys are absolute legends. If you don't already, please go and follow my Instagram. I'm actually going to be doing a ghost giveaway very, very soon. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay fit, stay healthy, and as always, stay safe.